group to put this together, a group of progressive young men and women. Let's give them a round of applause. I also want to salute the esteemed panel here for coming out and giving you guys time to try to give a little bit of insight into the issues we're facing. And lastly, there's a group of peacekeepers in the house that are doing tremendous work. I would like them to stand and let's give them their applause for the hardcore work they're doing in the street. Would you be completely safe? I'm going to get a little more to the point. I'm going to get down on the ground and bring it serious here. First and foremostly, look, we need to stop being volunteer victims. We need to stop thinking that we can't define our own reality in which we operate from. We need to become self-determined and self-reliant in our ability to move ourselves forward. We have allowed a system to define the operational structure in which we operate from. We need to go back and take a look at what worked for us and what brought us to the height of greatness and repeat those steps and duplicate that process. Number one, when we look at the condition our people are in, you know, I always like to echo Brother Minister Malcolm on this. We need to stop singing and start swinging. We need to understand the reality of what we're up against. When we talk about civil rights, you know, you got to look at that in the whole gist of civil rights. Civil rights, to sum it up, was an outstanding movement. I was part of that movement. But civil rights was basically asking permission to establish the God-given rights that we had as a people. What we need to be doing is looking at the level of human rights, which is an inalienable right that we have because we were God-given, born on this earth, and as human beings, we have the right to exist, we have the right to be free, we have the right to have the same justice, equality, and freedom that every other human being has. We, unfortunately, get in these venues to where we are not cause-driven. Time and time again, we let our personal ambition sidetrack us from the movement of getting our people to where they need to be. This ain't no damn game. This is the reality of what we are doing. We have been buffooned, we have been buffaloed, we have come in the door bending, smiling, scratching and batching, and thinking that that is the way we're going to move to a height of greatness. Nobody respects an individual or a group of individuals that bow down in the sake of what they have been given as rights to move themselves forward as a people. So if we're going to talk about this topic, let's be real. The whole gist of the Black Power movement was the fact that we decided that we were not going to take the conditions, the canceristic conditions that we were pressed upon us. And we were willing to stand and do whatever was necessary to get our rights and to be respected as people. Okay? We did not let a system define the way we operated. We said, this is what we need, this is what we're going to do, and then we realized that we as a people have to sacrifice. We have to move from a cause-oriented perspective, and we have to be community-driven if we were going to be successful in getting the respect and getting the established foundation that we needed to move as a people. Now let's look at our kids. You talk about kids and what's going to move our young adults. My youngest is 26 and my oldest is 35. I can speak on that just a tad because I've been there and done that. Let me tell you something. Why are our young adults going to respect us when we haven't taught them how to protect themselves? We haven't taught them how to sacrifice. We haven't taught them how to bring their greatness out. We have definitely haven't taught them, how to establish a platform of operational structure. And then we haven't been behind them, but yet here we come talking about, listen to me and do it this way. Do it what damn way? Okay? You want me to move in your way, but you've been scared to address the conditions that are putting us in that mass incorporated system. And I'm not going to let the societal factor be left out of the equation here. Yes, we can move ourselves forward. Yes, we can come and define a different reality in which we see. But we have to hold an unjust system that has put us in a cancerous position that we have not been able to lift ourselves from. They always say, lift up from the bootstrap. Hell, when you stole my boots, what am I supposed to lift up from? So, moving forward in the the process. Look, when we talk about human rights, and what I mean by that is we have to become an international people. We have to quit thinking in the confines of a system that continuously oppresses us. When you talk about human rights, you're talking about the right of self-determination. You are talking about the right of social development. You are talking about the right of the ability to acquire natural resources. You are talking about the right to implement your cultural heritage. And you are talking about the right to be respected for the fact that you are here on this earth. So if we're going to move the process forward, if we're going to set up systems, the first thing we want to do is change the damn input. If you don't like the conditions, change what you're putting in to where we can get a different outcome. You know, I always hear the concept of knowledge is power. Yes, but it's enthusiasm that flips the switch to make the knowledge go to work. Okay? What is it wrong with our schools? We got a school system that is not empowering our children with the wealth and the educational dynamite that they need to move the process forward. So what happens is they get in a system, and because that system is not moving them forward, what do? They fall out of the system, and then they define their own reality. And that's what we should be guiding the process. A school system should be an augment to our thinking process. The school system should not define the thinking process of our young adults. It should be an augment to our thinking process. Therefore, we must define the educational system in which our kids operate from, number one. Number two, we have to put in place duplicatable, balanced systems of instruction to move by. You cannot go to New York or Chicago and you don't have a map if you've never been there. Give me a map in terms of how to operate. And the third thing, and this is paramount, we need to stop letting people, so-called leaders, define where we need to go who have never had their damn feet on the ground and have had to sacrifice in what we're up against. Wrap this up. I'll say this. One of the other big things, we talk too damn much. We are revolutionaries. What we need to be doing, and the first thing a child sees is what? It's not what you say, it's what you do. We got to stop talking so much and start walking. We got to get out here and get our hands dirty. We've got to show the community that we are willing to sacrifice with them and for them and not come into our community thinking we have some onus and respect me because I have came to help you. No, what we should be doing is bowing down to that community because that community has allowed us to come in to assist them to move the process forward. That's real integration when we talk about how we deal with each other. We've got to become multidisciplinary and multi-collaborative. We've got to stay in our own lane. We've got to quit trying to define everything out of our individualized greatness and putting everybody else in a subservient role. Man, everybody plays a role. We were all brought into this world because we had some degree of greatness. We survived millions of sperm cells to get here. So the divinity of what you're about, you have to find that in the process. And summing this up, as I so said a minute ago, lastly, we have to understand that we are a collaborative community. We have to build upon each other. We have to understand where we came from. And most importantly, damn it, let's don't have the ability not to humble ourselves when somebody else comes to the table with some degree of knowledge, expertise, wisdom, or understanding. Let's embrace each other and let's respect the fact that we have leadership and we don't have to align that leadership or malign that leadership. We can respect that leadership, we can hold hands, and we can move this process forward. The protocol will establish what we do or what we don't do. Power to the people.
Incarceration.